Hello, I'm Dr. Tia Madison, and I will be your professor this semester. And this is Speech Communication 124, Career Communication class. And this video is giving you some pointers on things you should know to be successful in the class. These are just a few things that I've picked up as I've taught the class in the past few semesters. So here we go. If you are new to online learning, please review the orientation video. It gives you some information about how to navigate through Blackboard. And make sure you practice navigating through Blackboard days before the class so you feel confident as we begin to do our work in Blackboard. This is 100% online class. I got a few questions about that. Everything will happen on Blackboard. If you are seasoned to online learning, make sure you navigate through my course because my course will probably look different from the other courses that you've taken in the past. I am Dr. Tia Madison. I've been an instructor here at Napa Valley College since 2003. I'm passionate about the work that I do. I love communication, all forms of communication. I think it's an essential skill to have. I think it prepares you for any career that you're going into, so I take it seriously. I'm a caring instructor. I care about all of my students. I want all of my students to succeed, and I am on your side, so please feel free to communicate with me about anything you have going on, especially pertaining to the class, but if you need information about other areas, I'm here for you as well. I am imperfect. I get things wrong sometimes, not so much subject matter things, but I get a lot of technical things wrong. I make mistakes. I often misspell the word form and from. I invert those O's and R's. But I don't want you to assume that perfection lives on this side. And I understand that that we all are imperfect, and I don't want you to assume that I am expecting perfection. I am not expecting perfection. I'm expecting you to give me what you got, and we'll start from there. We'll work from that point. I was looking at my Rate My Professor information a while ago, and one of the students said that I'm all over the place and confusing and things like that. Well, I call that tangential. I go off on tangents, I tell stories, I work my way around the story and get back to the topic at hand. My background is theater, so I like storytelling. I like to be dramatic sometimes. Some people may see that as being it being chaos, but I think I have strategy to my madness. Um, I love the disfluency, so hopefully I don't drive you crazy with that. I used to have to pay 25 cents in my speech communication class for every disfluency, every or that I would say in my speeches, and I still haven't mastered the so forgive me in advance. And you will learn more about me in our first assignment. How the heck can you learn communication online? Great question. But what we'll do this semester is we're going to communicate a lot, mostly through written communication. And you will do a lot of communication with your classmates as well as your teammates in this class. So in this class, you will increase your effectiveness in your written communication skills. Hopefully, you also develop confidence in preparing for your oral presentations. You have one oral presentation this semester that you will do through a mediated source. I believe these skills are, this class online is effective because a lot of our the work industry is moving toward online communication, meetings online, etc. So you get to do that, participate in that, and have some skill sets with that before you move into your career. Frequently asked questions. Where can I find? What is and how can I? Questions usually start with that, and usually the answers to those questions are in the syllabus. Hopefully my syllabus is thorough and you get the information that you need. Please read it. It assists you in all things. So make sure you read your syllabus. We're actually going to have a syllabus quiz to make sure that you've read the syllabus. How can I find where to submit my individual work? Along with how can I find where to submit my group work? You will receive a posting that shows you the assignment, tells you the assignment, and then provides you with a link to submit your assignment. And that is where you will submit your individual and your group work. You won't be able to submit that work until I put the information up, until I post the link. So for all of you who like to do work in advance, do it, save it, and I'll post the link when it's time for you to submit it. I have discussion questions and participation forums in our class, and you will see the DQs, discussion questions, but you won't see them for very long. So I always get, I saw the DQ, but now I can't find it. That means your time has expired in which to do the DQ. Your DQs and your participations are only for the week it is assigned. These DQs and participation questions are designed to keep us talking to each other every week. And if I assign the DQ on Wednesday, it's due on Wednesday, then you should submit it on Wednesday so you won't get any points deducted for turning it in late. But then you only have until Friday if you're running late to turn it in, because it will disappear 2 days after it has been assigned. Why did the due dates change? Due dates typically change because I'm not ready for the assignment. As I said before, I'm imperfect. So sometimes an assignment is due, or it reads due in your syllabus, but we haven't gone over the material yet. We're behind in our lectures, etc. So things may change. You will get a tentative schedule calendar in your syllabus. How can I pass this class? Do all the work. If you do all the work, it's not difficult work. It is time-consuming work. But if you do all the work, you'll pass the class. How can I contact you? The best way to contact me is via email. Email comes straight to my smartphone. I can see it at all times. However, please cut your email off by 10 o'clock. I don't want to feel the need to have to answer your email at 1:30 in the morning. So try to save it. Save those times between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. as, non-communication time for our class assignments. But that's the best way to contact me, via my email. My email is tmadison@napavalley.edu. You can also contact me via my office phone, which is 707-256-7495. However, I'm not in my office at all times, and I won't be able to answer that voicemail until I'm back in my office. So it's not the most efficient way in which to contact me. How about learning from other students' mistakes? So not submitting by the due date. As I said before, you only have a 2-day grace period to submit your work. I'm not reopening things for you to submit your work. So please be mindful of your due dates. What I tend to do is I put due dates in my calendar on my phone with reminders, just to help me not forget that something is coming up. I did most of my PhD online while working full-time, while having kids at home, etc. So I had to make sure that I had a system in place to make sure that I didn't miss due dates. So you might want to use that as well. Not communicating with your teammates. I would say about 90% of this class will be working with a team. And it's very important that you communicate with your team at all times, several times a week, to make sure that everybody's on the same page, everybody knows what's due and how to do it. Not submitting DQs or PARs, so that's discussion questions or participation responses. Some students decide not to do those. They're 10 and they're 10 of each, and they're all 10 points each. Those points add up. Those points can keep you from getting the A that you're working for. So I advise that you don't miss out on those 10 points. I promise you they add up, and I get students every semester that say, oh, I got an A on everything else, but I didn't submit the DQs, and now I have a B or a C. Um, yeah, uh, those DQs and participation points are necessary. So you want to make sure that you do those. Not communicating with your instructor. Please don't go away for weeks and not submit anything. I'm looking at how often you're online. Every time you submit something, it gives me a date and time to the last time you were online. So if a week goes by and I don't see any activity on your part, I'm either going to drop you from the class, or try to look for you and figure out what's going on. Let me know if something came up. Let me know if your internet's off. Let me know what's going on so that I'm not dropping you from the class. Please send me an email to let me know if things are going on in your life that is keeping you away from the class. Communication is very important in all facets of the class, so make sure that I am up to speed. And I don't need to know personal information, but I need to be up to speed about why you're not participating in class. Forgetting about the class, it happens often, especially happens in the spring semester when students are getting ready for spring break or coming back from spring break. Also happens in the fall semester after Thanksgiving. You don't want to forget about the class. Make sure that you have some sort of way in which you're reminding yourself about your online learning. Not dropping the class. If for some reason you can no longer continue with the class, it is your responsibility to drop the class. It is not my responsibility. So if your name is still on my roster at the end of the class and you intended to drop, I am forced to give you a grade. That grade is usually an F. So make sure that you drop the class if that is your intention. How I grade. Everything in this class has a point value, and you will see those points assigned on your syllabus. Your DQs and your PARs are very important, so I'm grading you for participating in the discussions in the class, and there are specific requirements for the DQs and the PARs that you will find in your syllabus. You have individual assignments as well as group assignments. You will receive points based on your participation and your submission of those assignments. There is one extra credit activity in this class that is also listed in your assignments. I advise that just in case you missed a couple DQs, etc., that you do that extra credit because it will help in your final grade. I grade things, I grade your individual and group assignments weekly, meaning you submit things, I look at it for a week, and I submit it to you in that following week. Your DQs and your PARs are usually graded every other day, so you should receive feedback for that. Let's also talk about feedback. I don't give a ton of feedback for your discussion questions and your participation responses. I may ask you to expand on a point. I may ask you more questions about your reflection on the questions that are asked of you. I may let you know that you didn't meet the requirements of the DQ or the participation, but I'm not giving structural feedback for your DQs and your PARs. You get comprehensive feedback about the structure of your content, etc., in your individual and group assignments. So your feedback will be more healthy and labored and thought out in your individual and group assignments. So these are a few things that you should know about the class. More information to come.